Welcome to the Power BI course. To learn Power BI, the very first step is to download Power BI software on your laptop. There are two ways to download the Power BI software. First of all, go to the browser and type download Power BI and hit enter. You would see a site from Microsoft.com. Click on this particular page. In this one, if you scroll down, here you would have option to download. You also have option to select your language and hit on download. This is the first way. I'm going to show you the best way. The second best way to download, which I would recommend, go to the Microsoft Store by typing Microsoft Store on your Windows search, and I'm going to click on Microsoft Store. In Microsoft Store, simply search for Power BI. And here you have the Power BI desktop software. I'm going to click on it, and then here you have the option get. All you have to do, simply hit on get. What is the benefit of installing from the Microsoft Store? If there are any update, any patches, monthly, weekly, if there are any kind of patches that can come, it will automatically install. You no need to manually upgrade your software. It is now preparing to download. It will take few minutes for us to download the software. Now you can see it has started installing the Power BI desktop software. The installation is in progress. Let us wait for few minutes. After the installation, all you have to do, click on open. And this is how the Power BI software will open. And this is how the look and feel of the Power BI software will be. I see a prompt here. I'm going to close it and I'm going to head on to the home. I'm going to click on home, and this is how your home screen would look like. On the home screen, you would see many options: blank report, online catalog, Excel workbook, SQL Server, learn with sample data. For this, to get started, we will click on learn with sample data. It has the option experiment on your own to start creating visuals on your own, load sample data. And there is also launch tutorial. I'm going to click on load sample data. After that, you would see two options here: financials, and there are data, and the sheet one, there are certain data. All you do at the moment, hit on load. And you can see Power BI is loading this specific data. All you can do, simply close this. Live edit semantic models direct click mode. I'm going to simply close all the options. So finally, what you see is the Power BI desktop. And this is how the Power BI software on your desktop would appear. Next, we will try to relaunch the Power BI from the scratch. So what you have to do, go back to your Power BI desktop. I'm going to click on close, and we are going to relaunch it from the scratch. Do not save your project, simply relaunch. I'm going to open Power BI desktop. Okay, and now we are on the home page. This is how your Power BI would look like. What we would do first is learn with sample data. Okay, so these are the options. You just click on this, and then there is an option here called launch tutorial. This is very important. This is where you would get your sample data. I'm going to show you everything from the scratch. Click on launch tutorial, and here if you scroll down this particular page, this is from Microsoft, you'll get some sample data for practice. Here there is an option called download the sample. Download the financial sample Excel workbook. Open the Power BI desktop. On the home page, select Excel workbook, navigate to where you saved the sample workbook and select open. This is the exact step we are going to do. Let's click on financial sample Excel workbook and allow it to download. You see the file has been downloaded. Now let's open the file just to see what is there inside this particular Excel file. So you can see it is a huge Excel file having a lot of data. It has something called segment, country, product, discount band, units sold, manufacturing, sale price, gross sales, discounts, sales, COGS. It's very important to have a look of the data. Okay, month name, year, date, the profit, what they have made, and then there is something called COGS. There are many values. So have a quick look of the data, and I'm going to close this file. Okay, I'm not going to do any changes. I have downloaded the file. Next, let's open the Power BI. Okay, so what is the step Microsoft is suggesting? Open Power BI desktop. On the home page, select Excel workbook. Exactly the same thing we will do. Go back to the home page. Again, what I will do, I'll simply, you can do it from here, but let's start from the scratch. Once again, open Power BI desktop, close it and reopen it. And then here in the home page, you have something called Excel workbook. I'm going to click on Excel workbook, exactly how Microsoft is guiding us to learn. We'll go to downloads and select the sample file which we have downloaded just now and click on open. Okay, this is the very first step of you uploading or trying to upload the data on which you would do the Power BI exercises. So you can see this has got a financial data. It also has got certain sheets. The next step in the process is transform data. For this, I will click on financials. This has to be checked mark. And then you have a button here called transform data. Let's click on transform data. After that, you would see Power Query Editor will open. In this one, on the right hand side, you would see query settings. And you have all the different columns of the Excel. Let's go to one of the column which is units sold. And you can see there are certain rows which has got a value 1618.5. It's a decimal value. When you are selling a unit, you don't sell it in decimals. It will be a whole number. So there is something wrong with the data. And it happens when you receive raw data. Generally, there would be errors and you have to transform it. I would be highlighting this unit sold and then hit on this transform tab. There are multiple tabs: home, transform, add columns, view. Click on this transform tab after highlighting the unit sold. And then in the data types, I am going to select whole number. And the moment I do this, I get a prompt replace current. I will click and you see all the decimal values which wherever it was has now been replaced. And here in the query settings, the change type, we just applied a data type change from a decimal to a whole number. Next thing, let's go to the left. Here in the segment, highlight the segment. And I want to make all of this into uppercase. I want to see all of this in uppercase because this is going to appear in graphs and couple of other things. Hence, I want in uppercase. How can I do it? For this, again be on the transform tab. And then you have something called format. I'm going to click on format and I'm going to click on uppercase. So that way, all the values now has been transformed to uppercase in Power BI. Next thing, we'll move little right. There is a column called product. Now, for this use case, I do not need one of the product which is Montana. I'm going to uncheck it because I don't want to deal with this product for certain reasons. So please uncheck this and click on OK. So what would happen? Now you have applied a filtered. You applied a uppercase. You applied a filter for this column. Okay. Let's move on to the right. And here I have something called month name. And let's say I don't want month and name. I want to rename it. Double click on it and simply say month and hit on enter. So what happened? You renamed it. So all the things, all the transformation that you have done has appeared in the query settings. For the learning purpose, just keep all of this as is, and we are going to apply them now. To apply these changes, all you do, click on the Home tab. And then you have something called Close and Apply. Let's click on Close and Apply and hit on Close and Apply. And what would happen? It is going to apply the changes, you see, loading the data. Now, after it has applied, it is going to load the data. 607 rows of data has been uploaded now. After the data has been transformed and loaded to Power BI desktop, you would see there is something called filters, there is something called visualization, and there is something called data. These three layers are there. In the data layer, if you look at the right hand side, there is something called financials. I am going to click on financials and expand it. There are columns which has a sigma symbol. This is a sigma symbol. This represents this data is a numeric. For date, you see there is a calendar icon. This means it's a date. These are the numerics or numbers. Okay, this is about the symbols that is used in the data at the moment. The next thing we are going to learn is creating a measure. So what is a measure means? Measure means a live calculation, to keep it simple. To do that, first of all, what we will do, we'll go to Home. In the Home, we will click on New Measure. Write a DAX expression that calculates a value from your data. And DAX stands for Data Analysis Expressions. Data Analysis Expressions or DAX. Click on New Measure. Here I am going to create a new column. I am going to say total units sold equals to, and let's write a very simple formula, sum, start the parenthesis, and here you get a list. Just scroll down very slowly and look for units sold. So this is the column in the financial sheet. I'm going to hit on enter and then close the parenthesis. And there is a green tick mark. You can click on the green tick mark or known as commit. So when you do this, what happened? On the data, a new column got created called total units sold. And we have written an expression. We have done a live calculation. This is called creating a measure. The next step in the process is create a table. Now you would ask, why are we going to create a table? Because finally we are going to build a report. Now all we have to do, continue with the process what I am showing here. The next thing, we will be on the Home tab. And then I'm going to click on this table view. I'm going to click on this table view. Once you click on the table view, you see this table has appeared. I'm going to create a new table. For that, I will click on New Table. And here we are going to create a table and we are going to name it as Calendar. The table name is Calendar. Is equals to, then I will use this function called Calendar. And in that, the column that I'm going to use is date. So I'll say date. And let's write a date starting from 2013, comma, January, comma, the first date of January. And close the parenthesis. Use a comma, and then again I'm going to type date selected from the formula bar. And then I'm going to type 2014, comma, month December, comma, the date 31, and close the parenthesis. Now exactly what we did here is we are trying to create another table, like we have the financial table. Like that we would create one more table called calendar. So this calendar, let's use one more parenthesis to close it. So calendar date 2013 1 it should start from 2013 January 1st and end on 2024 December 31st. All you do after you have written this formula, check this how it is written. Click on this commit or green tick mark. The moment you do this, it has created on the data, if you see, it has created another table called calendar. And if you expand, it's showing there is a column called date. And in this, you have all the dates starting from 1/1/2013, all till the end. There are 730 rows. You can see it's 730. If you go down, 31st December 2014. Until here, it has created a column. A new table got created with a column called date and having all the dates from 2013 till 2014 December. After that, the next step is you need to click on model view. There's another icon here on the left side, model view. Let's click on this model view. And then you would see financials is your first table. There are two tables, financials and calendar. You see financials, you see calendar. All you do, we have to build a relationship between the date column of financials and the date column of calendar. All I will do, simply select this, drag and drop it to the another table. The moment you do it, it has detected, hey, you are trying to build a new relationship. And what is it? You are using the financial table date column and you are linking that to calendar table with the date column. All you have to do, simply hit on save. You can see cardinality many to one, cross filter direction single. So all you have to do nothing here, simply hit on save. The moment you do the save, and you can see there is a relation built between these two tables. If you simply drag to little towards the right, you see there is a relationship has been built between these two table now, and this is the relationship. Okay, and if you highlight on it, it will highlight the date column. For example, if you keep your mouse here, the date column from both the tables are highlighted, means they both are linked at the moment. The final interesting thing is we are going to build a report. To build report, you have to click on this particular icon, which is report view. I'm going to click on report view, and then this is how your canvas would look. The very first thing you can do, you can just minimize all of this pans at the moment. Data visualization filters, keep them aside. So this is your canvas on which you would start building your reports or visuals. To build a report, the very first thing is we will create a text box to give a title of what this report is all about. So I'm going to click on this text box, and here you would find a text box. In this one, you can slightly shape the text box, and then you can also resize that. Let me give the value, I'm going to type to 20 and make it bold, and let's type something. Let's say I will say executive sales summary. Executive sales summary. After you have typed, bold, the font size have increased, and then resize this particular text box. Fine, this is how it should appear. Okay, this is how your text box should appear. You can resize however you want. Fine, once you have this, the next thing is we are going to create a simple report or some graphs. For that, expand your data panel and then expand the financials on, also expand the calendar. Both the things you expand. Okay, this date also you expand, date hierarchy expand. So once you have expanded everything, then what you do here in this, there was a column called profit. Let me show you the Excel file. So this was the Excel file. In the Excel file, if you look at government, Canada, Carita, non, and all this, and there is a column how much sales it has done and what was the profit. So profit was 16,185 on 1st January 2014. So it has got lot of such data, profit data. You see, on different segments, different countries, it has got the profit. Now getting back to Power BI, all you do on this data panel, I'm going to drag and drop the profit to the canvas somewhere like this, and I'm going to release the mouse. And then you can expand this to adjust in the canvas, something like this. Okay, once you have done it, I want to see the profit month by month from 2013 till 2014. I want to see it. For that, simply scroll up, and here you have something called date hierarchy. In the date hierarchy, you have year, month, and everything. All you do, simply select all. So the moment you select all, what happened? It has created a graph for you with day, sum of profit and all that. See, I don't need the day, I'll remove it. I don't need the quarter, I'll remove it. All I need is the month and year. So you see, now my graph has a title called Sum of Profit by Year and Month. And you see, I got a very nice graph, 2013 September data and December it has appeared. Now let's say I don't need the bar graph. All I do, I'll click on it and then click on the line chart. You see, I got the line chart and I clearly see now in December 2014, there was a highest profit. Okay, so once again we'll do. So let me delete. It's very important. So let me remove everything. Okay, so I have a text box that I leave it. So what I have to do, I have to expand the data and then I'll go to the financials table. And here I would go to the profit column. Okay, where is the profit column? Here it is, profit column. Let me drag and drop the profit column to the canvas. And then I'm going to expand it to fit in the screen. Okay, I'll keep it and adjust. After that, we have created another table called calendar. I'm going to select the date here, everything. So I got day, sum of profit by year, quarter, month, and day. It is giving everything. Now I don't want day, I'll remove the day. I don't want the quarter, I'll remove the quarter, and I've just kept year and month, and you see sum of profit by year and month, it has appeared 2013 and these are the months, 2014, these are the months. Now what I will do, I want to change the visualization to a line chart. So I will select on visualization and click on the line chart. Once done, you can minimize them just to get a clear look of how your data is now presented. Now we have a line chart which shows every month what is the profit. If you highlight, it tells you, okay, 2014 where I had a good amount of sale or the highest sale I have done. Next, I am going to show you how to increase the canvas page size in Power BI. If you look at my screen, here is my canvas and my canvas started on the top and getting completed here, meaning it will hardly give me to keep two graphs. What if I want to keep 10 graphs? I need a longer canvas, right? Or you might need a wider canvas. What is the settings? Let's see it. For that, the very first step, you have to highlight the page, not the graph. If you highlight the graph, this is how it comes. Click outside and highlight the page. And here the page is page number 1 in my case. Click on format your report page. This button is important. If you click on this, you see this kind of option. If you do not see page information canvas settings, meaning you might have clicked on the graph and the options are different. So let me again click back and click on this button, format button. So here there is an option called canvas settings. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to click on this drop down and I'm going to select custom. In the custom, because I need a longer canvas, let me type 2000 pixels. Okay, and then click outside. Now your page has been elongated. Then what you do, control and scroll up. You see the percentage has gone to 19%. Here let me increase it to, let's say, 100% or slightly less so that it is convenient for me. Okay, so now you can see now it has got more options for me to create more graphs in single page. Next, we are going to prepare maps in Power BI. To do that, the very first important is you have to check your settings. Click on File and then click on Options and Settings. After that, click on Options. Now this will take a few seconds and then you would find this particular window. In this one, click on Security and then slowly scroll down and you would have an option called Map and Filled Map Visuals. This by default will remain unchecked. So kindly check it and click on OK. This is very important. Only then you can create maps. After that, what you do, go to your data panel. Here you have the data panel and then there is a field called country. I'm going to drag and drop the country field here. Now, in case this kind of a map is not coming, even after you have enabled, close your Power BI, reopen it and try the same step. Drag and drop the country. You should be able to see the visuals. After that, I will look for the profit. So let me check where is profit. Here it is. Let us drag and drop profit on top of the map. Now when you release it, you see now the dots are formed. You see the dots are formed. Let me slightly enlarge the map. Okay, and then you can also do zoom in, zoom out, move left, move right, all these things you can do. If you highlight on any of this, for example, Europe, I want to see in Europe, what is the sum of profit they have made? 31,20950. If I want to see in North America, what is the sum of profit they have made? All you do, simply go there and keep your mouse pointer there. Okay, let me keep my mouse pointer. So it is giving me 25,610. So this is about the map creation in Power BI. Next, we are going to create a clustered column chart in Power BI. To do this, all you have to do, let's come back to the canvas. And in the canvas, let me slightly minimize the canvas. And here all I will do, I'll minimize this particular graph and make it a little smaller. And then this particular graph also I'll make it a little smaller. And then I'll drag this graph and keep it on the right corner of the canvas. And the same thing I will do, I'll just move this and create it and I will leave some space on the left hand side. That is for a purpose. The next exercise we will be using that. Okay, so that's why I left it, and then let me readjust it and utilize the space properly. Okay, done. So I've got now two graphs side by side. First thing, you achieve this. After doing this, next on the data panel, I'm going to click on, I'm going to check mark this sales, and then I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to check mark one more thing called product. Let's see, I check marked sales, and then I'm going to check mark the product. So I want to see each product, how much sales it has made. So you can see a graph has been built on the left corner. Okay, now I am going to also add one segment, which segment this product was sold. Okay, so now you see a clustered column graph got created. Clustered column graph got created, you see. And then I'm going to drag this by holding on to the title and keep it aligned to the above two graphs. And I'm going to utilize the space, maximum space available. So this is an example of a clustered graph. Let me slightly maximize this. So what is it? Let me show you. Now there is a product. If you highlight your mouse, it tells there is a product called Pasio. This product had made highest sales based on the column graph. You see, it has got the highest sale. And who purchased this product? The government segment. The government people are happy with the product and they purchase this product. And if I highlight the smallest one, in the mid market, the same product did not go well. In the mid market, people are not choosing this product so well. I mean, it is lowest. If I highlight this pink bar graph, it tells the same product in the small business also made a good sales, right? And the second best product could be this one, umbrella. In the government people are buying the most, and then small business people are buying the most. So this is sum of sales by product and segment wise, you see. So this is a clustered bar graph that we have created, or column chart that we have created in Power BI. Next, we are going to learn how to create slicer in Power BI for data filtration. For this, we will be back to our Power BI, and in the data pane, expand this. Under the financials table, there is a column called date. I am going to select this date. By doing a selection of the date, I see a filter kind of an option had come. What I'm going to do, I'm going to slightly adjust this, highlight this, and keep my mouse pointer here and drag it to the top of the screen and leave it here. And slightly let me adjust. Okay. After doing this, I'm going to minimize the data panel and expand the visualization panel. Here there is an option called slicer. I'm going to click on slicer, and the moment I do this, you see there is a slicer has come. Now what is the help of this? The moment, for example, here the date starts from 1st September 2013 and ends on 1st December 2014, 13 to 14. What I can do is I can minimize this slicer. You see the graph is automatically changing. Okay. For example, you see the graph is changing. If I expand, the graph is changing. So it is selecting a specific range through this slicer. There are also different options for the slicers. To find that, highlight your slicer in Power BI and click on Format Your Visual. And then you have something called Slicer Setting. Click on it. And then under Options, you would find there are multiple options like relative date, relative time, drop down, after, before, and all that. If I click on relative date, for example, you see it comes something like this. Okay. If you select relative date, if you select the drop down, you see days, weeks, months, years. Remember, your data is of 2013, which is almost 10 years back. Okay, so 120 months back. For example, if I select months and I make 120 months, last, no, not 120, 130 months if I do, okay, I see a graph. If I make 180 months, last 180 months, see, I see a graph. So like this, you can apply slicer to your data in Power BI. Next, we are going to apply slicer on DAX table. What do I mean by DAX table? DAX, data analysis expression table. You remember we have created a table. Let me hide the visualization. We have created two tables. One is the calendar. This is the DAX table, data analysis expression table, and this was the original table. Now I'm going to create a slicer using the DAX table or the calendar table. Now for this, before we start doing it, let's highlight the previously created slicer, go to visualization and put it back to the slicer mode. I think that was appropriate. So here I will click on this highlight and click on this format your visuals. In the slicer settings, let's put it back to between. If you keep it between, this would appear. Okay, accordingly you can apply filter. Now I am talking about the DAX table. Now for this, expand the DAX table or the calendar table, and I am going to minimize this and drag and drop the date column to your canvas. So your canvas would appear something like this. Okay, and here expand this option. You would see year, quarter, month, day, everything is selected. I am going to remove the quarter and I'm going to remove the day. Now what I got is year and month, and your table would look something like this: year, month, and there are data. This is coming from the DAX table or the calendar table. Now, after doing this, let's minimize data, expand the visualization. And in the visualization, highlight this. And here, let's click on this add data to your visual. Just highlight this. And here, let us select slicer. Okay, build visuals in slicer, you have to click. The moment you click on slicer, it will become something like this, 2013 and 2014. In this one, simply expand this 2013 and expand 2014. So it will appear something like this, okay? It will appear something like this. Now in this one, let's say my manager says, hey, Rakesh, you give me data of 2013, October, November, December, only 3 months you give. So because I have a slicer, what happens? I can simply go here and apply October, November, December. Okay, so first of all, what you do, you have to select 2013. Everything is selected. Now we'll uncheck rest of it. August, September, and then I would have October, November, December. Now you can see your data has October, November, December data, and all the visuals has been reflected accordingly. If I click on September, look at it. Here it is written October in this graph. If I hit on September, the September also would appear. September, October, November, December. So this is the slicer that we have created using the DAX table in Power BI. Next, let's learn how to apply themes to our reports in Power BI. To apply theme in your report, first of all, you should be in your page or in your canvas, and then click on a button on the top called View. In the view, if you click on this button, the drop down button, you see there are multiple themes available. For example, if I am going to apply the Bloom theme, see how my report is looking. Okay, this is how my report is appearing now. This is also one of the theme called executive theme. Generally, it is used while sharing with management. So let me show you the executive theme. I think this one. Okay, this is the executive theme. I'm going to click on this executive theme. So this is how the theme would appear. The color scheme has changed, more appropriate for the stakeholders or sending it to your higher management. The executive theme is used. However, there's no restrictions. You can use any theme of your choice which looks more neat and clean. Accordingly, you can select the theme for your specific report that you have built on Power BI. Next, we will see how to save your report that you have built in Power BI. To save your report, all you have to do, click on File, and then there's an option called Save As. This will give you an option to save your report whichever space of your hard drive or wherever you like to save it. These are the options: OneDrive, SharePoint, on your local system, you can save it. Give it a name, and then it will have an extension PBIX, Power BI IX. This is the extension of your file, and then you can hit on save. Now, after you have saved it and given a name, that name would appear on the top of the report. For example, I have given the name as Power BI first report. I've given this name, and then later on, whatever changes you're going to make, you're going to hit on save and get saved in this specific report. Whenever you like to reopen this report, you'll be able to see all the reports that you have created. Next, we are going to see how to apply title change to one of your visual, and also how to apply effects onto your visuals in Power BI. To do this, I'm going to select this particular graph, the line graph. Sum of profit by year and month. By default, you would have a name given by Power BI. I would like to change it. To change the title, you have to be in the visualization tab. And then I'm going to click on the format your visuals. And then I'm going to click on general. Under here, there is a section called title. Let me expand it. And if you scroll down, here you see a title. Let me change the title to profit by month, be small, month and year. Okay, I'm going to make the change, and you see the title has appeared. The next thing what I'm going to do after typing that, I'm going to change the size of the text to, let's say, 16. Okay, I've changed the title to 16 or 18, whatever you feel like. Okay, I made it to 18. And after that, I'm going to minimize the title section. Then there's a section here called effects. Click on effects. And under that, you would find background under effects. Then you would find visual border. Then you find shadow. There are three options. Okay, background, visual border, and shadow. What I'm going to do, I'm going to turn on the shadow. Look at what's going to happen to this visual. I'm going to hit on, and you see there's a shadow has appeared around this visual. You see there's a shadow. It brings a difference. So this is the change you apply into one of your visual and try out some of the other options that are there in this visualization section in Power BI. Next, we will do few more changes to the map visuals in Power BI. For this, we'll be back onto our canvas and then expand visualization and keep highlighting this map. This we have done the changes. Now this second visual, which is the map visual. In this one, all you do, if you highlight this under the format your visuals, under the visual tab, you will see there is something called map settings. I'm going to click on map settings, and from road view, what I will do, I'll apply another view called grayscale. This is the visual. So it will appear something like a grayscale area, and then it will highlight the blue areas. This is what I want in the map settings. This is the first change. The second change, I am going to go to general. I'll go to the title. Okay, so this title I'm fine. Only thing I am going to do, I'll make it to 18. The title I'm going to make it to 18. And then you remember we have applied, let me keep myself a little aside. So the another thing we have applied is the effects. Okay, let's minimize everything, expand effects, and then click on the shadow, and I'm going to turn on the shadow even for this. You see, this is how your final look of your map should appear in Power BI. Next, let's apply few changes to the clustered column chart. To do these changes, first of all, we have to highlight the clustered column chart. And then again, the similar steps we have to follow. Let me minimize everything and keep it visualization and go to visuals and then go to, go to general. Here, let's look for the title. Let's do a small change in the title, expand the title. And instead of saying sum of sales, I will simply say sales by product and segment. This is the first thing. And the size, I'm going to make it to 18. Okay. And the next thing what we will do, the shadow. You remember the shadow? Let's go to the effects, expand the effects, shadow, and I'm going to keep it on. So now all our visuals has got a shadow, and we have made slight small changes to the title and the title size and couple of things. While there are many such other options you can always try out, however, these are the basic things you should be aware of. Next, we are going to apply few changes to the slicer. To do that, first of all, again highlight the slicer, go to visualization, and then click on the format your visual. And here there are very specific options we would select. First of all, the slicer header and the values are very small. Slicer header, I am going to make it to, let's say, 18. Okay, now you can see the size has become a little larger. Now the next thing, minimize the slicer header. Next is values. Value is also very small because the font is 9. I'm going to make it to, I don't know, maybe 12. Let's try 12. Okay, it's a little better. Okay, and you can just increase and see which is better for you. So this is fine. After that, I am going to apply the slider color, some other color I want to apply. It is gray color. What I will do, let me select this blue color. You see the blue color had appeared on the screen. Apply this three things that we just did for the slicer. Next, we are going to see how to add a background shape to the title. For this, first of all, what we will do, we will click on insert. And then there's an option here called shapes. I'm going to click on that. and I'm going to select rectangle. The moment you do this, you would see a rectangle. Let me slightly reshape this rectangle to fit into the report. Okay. Now, once I've done that, I'm going to move this to the top of the report. All right. Now, once it is done, what you do, click on format, and there is an option here called send backward, and click on send to back, and then click outside, and you would see the executive sales summary has appeared. I'm going to add a little bit of title here. For example, I'll say a finance report, and then I'm going to reshape this to fit. Okay, so like that I have done it. If you click outside, you see the executive sales summary finance report has come. Let's say I do not need the background. There is a white color. Okay, now for that, what you can do, you can select this particular written text, and then click on format the text box. Okay, once you click on the format text box, let me click again. Okay, select it, and then format text box, and here let's go to header icons, or let's say title, effects. Yeah, in the effects it is there. Okay, sorry, in the effects background it is there. So let me do one thing. I am going to apply the same color of this one. By doing this, you see now executive sales finance report has appeared. Let me select the entire box and make the text color white. Now, if you click outside, you see how it is appearing. Executive sales summary finance report. In case you would like to change the color of this particular rectangle, for that again you can go to format shapes. Okay, so here is the option that will come automatically, and then click on shape. It's not there. Rotation, yeah, it should be there in the style. Let's go to the style, and let's say you want to change some of the color. Okay, that also you can try. So for example, some of the color you want to apply, you can always try that, but I will keep it to this color. So this is about adding a shape to the title and applying certain styling to the shape. Next, we are going to add shape to visual number 2 and 3. To do that, again, we will follow the similar pattern where we would go to insert and then click on shapes and click on a rectangle. See, the rectangle would appear something like this. Let's reshape it. And this one would come in the background of this visual and this visual. Okay, behind that we will keep it. Now for this, let's come here, and then the very first thing, keep it more like this size, and then go here. Okay, shape it until the border. Very good. And then this color, let us change it to, go to style, and maybe change this color to gray color. Okay, something like this. And then if you make fully 100% transparent, it becomes white. And what I will do is I will keep it to maybe 20%. Okay, 20% transparent. So what would happen when you make it transparent? I'll show you. If you move this particular one, you see, because it's transparent, you can see what is there behind it, right? So you can, if you want, you can make it to even 10%. Type 10%. Okay, so now it is 10% uh, transparent. Doesn't make big of a difference from 10% to 20%, but yeah, up to you. So once this is done, next thing what I will do, I'll just shape it as per the behind the scene, right? We have two graphs. According to that, I'll keep it. Just check the left, right, top, bottom, all the corners. Just it fits both the visuals. Post that, we will go to format, and I'm going to click on send backward, send to back. Okay, send backward, send to back. Now if you click outside, you see this is how it is appearing. All I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust both of this particular graphs so that the background thing appears in a better way. Okay, so let me slightly adjust this border as well. Yep, now I think it looks much better. Okay, if I click outside, and try to make this minimize all of it and then keep it to maybe 50%. Now you can see how the look and feel of my report is. Okay, so try this and let me know if you are able to achieve until this specific step. The final thing we are going to see how to publish your Power BI report. For this, here on your home tab, I see a publish button. All I would do, click on this publish button. Microsoft Power BI desktop, do you want to save your changes? I would say yes, save it. And then it is asking me, enter your email address. Power BI desktop and the Power BI service work better together. What is Power BI service? This would help you to share it online with other people. Once you have built, you might be interested to share this report with your manager, with your boss, with your colleagues. So this would help you. Power BI is a online service through which you can share your report. Sign in to enhance your collaboration and access organizational content. Okay, so let me enter my email address and I am going to hit on continue. At this stage, it might ask you to enter your business email ID. If you're trying with your personal email ID, it might stop you just like me. But don't worry, it is a pretty simple step. However, let me show you what would be the step. After you have published, then it'll ask you select a destination in Power BI service. In the Power BI service, where would you like to save it? For example, it can be my workspace. Now, once you save it, you need to click on select open your file name in Power BI. Now, once you open publishing to the Power BI, this is how you would get a screen. And then for you to share to anybody, right? What you have to do, you have to select share at the top of the report to share your report with others. There will be a button to share it. So that way, other friends using the link, they can open and play with the dashboard. However, they won't be able to edit it because you haven't given the edit permission, rather a view permission where they can view and utilize the data however they need. So you can see finally how our report is. This is how your final look of your report to be. I hope through this session you might have learned a lot of things as a beginner and you have finally successfully built a report in Power BI, and also the published thing how to share with others you have seen in the documentation. Thank you for watching. Give it a like, give it a thumbs up, and then do let me know how this entire session was. Were you able to achieve until the end? Were you able to create this kind of a report or not? Please do let me know in the comment section of this video. Thank you very much. Let's meet in another interesting tutorial on my channel. Thank you. See you again.